You are now listening to the Cheatcoders podcast with Nats and Raf.
Yo, it's your boy Nathan and my
and it's
friend.
your boy Raf. What am I, your assistant or your co-host? What's going on?
You're the one, you keep saying that. I say you're my partner, but I'm the co-host. So you're putting yourself in that box. You'll put yourself in that box.
Nah, man, I'm trying to take over.
How are you, my friend?
So here is my co-host Nathan from London.
Raf is the godfather. I gotta tell everyone. We got I don't even know how many shows we have on Cheatcoders anymore. This is the only one I attend to. I watch these episodes dropping, and I'm part of the admin on the Facebook. And I'm just like, wow, I'm popular today. And then I realize it's just like Raf cheat coding away and dropping a new pilot every week for something new.
That's exactly, because I'm admin on your Nathan Blazin page on Facebook, so I end up just getting all your notifications.
Oh shit, he gets my DMs.
Yeah.
How many DMs do I get? None.
I don't want to deal with it, so I just mute your whole Facebook page.
Just mute the
You've
page.
been posting heaps, man. You've been doing a lot of giving your
on Facebook
opinions on everything on your Nathan Blazin page.
Yeah, it's just easy. It's easier because I'm always on Facebook, just finding random shit, and I usually used to just tag certain friends on you'll find random shit, just random content. But I figured I've got my account page, I might as well make the use of that. So I just, every time I find something, instead of tagging a few friends, I just share it directly. So it's just normal. It's not really I'm trying to. It's just I just find shit and I'm like, oh cool, let's post that. And,
okay, let's address the elephant in the room. Why the fuck are you wearing glasses?
like we didn't discuss this prior. Okay, well, for one, it's too bright in this room. I had a big night. And a lot of people have already messaged me. It's like, hey, you messaged me like, you're back in your element. Yes. I got really messy last night. I woke up and I was like, thank God I'm in my room, but I feel better. I ate some bacon. I had some
Bacon's
rice,
always great for a hangover,
hangover food. And
but I remember the time at your
water.
birthday, 2 years ago. I got hungover to the max that I couldn't even eat bacon. I couldn't even eat fried.
That's another level of. Yeah. You couldn't even eat. I remember that. That was a good birthday. Yeah, you got done.
I got pretty much done. I missed out half of the night just because I got too excited to just drink.
From the start, you were sitting next to each other. You're like,
everyone's all
drink.
Everyone's all halfway there, and I'm full cripping and dancing and stuff.
I think
passed out on the couch.
Someone had to put you move you into position because you're halfway on the couch, so they had to move you on the bed or something.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. But anyway, the glasses. It's that. I need them because I don't actually need them. I'm just wearing them for kicks. But we're also here to discuss a very interesting album that just dropped out of nowhere.
This is fresh. This is it just dropped today.
It just dropped out of nowhere. I woke up from my hangover, check my, as you do, check the damage from the night before, check my story, make sure I didn't post anything too much that I might have to delete. And then I get a message from Raf, hey, your homework for today is listen to Kanye's album. And I was like, oh, damn, I gotta listen to this. So I listened to it when I was like, you ready? Should we start giving our opinions? Because I've been holding it. I have not said one thing to Raf.
Let's go straight into the Kanye review because it's fresh in my mind too. I've listened to it all day for 3 hours. It's a 7-track album, so I was listening to it on repeat, and I'm pretty much getting the gist of the whole album and the feel for it. So
100%.
I've listened to it at least 7 times now.
Let's
start with your opinion because usually your opinion. I don't know which direction you want to go.
Because I got the glasses too. That's why I got the glasses. Because it's Kanye.
I'm wondering if you're gonna like it or not. So
all right. So I've held back. I listened to it when I was laying down. First track, right? Once I heard the first track, I was like, Raf, I'm ready to podcast. But you were having dinner. I was ready. I was way too emotionally unstable at the time because I'm still trying to figure out where I am in life. Now put the Kanye album. All right, wait. Let me just tell you something. Fucking amazing! Oh my god, it's the best fucking album ever. It's so fucking good, man. It is so good. So I was holding that in for so long. It's so good. You don't understand. Album of the year. Album of the year. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll talk about his catalog and where it fits. We'll talk about that later down the track. Let's start off with like your first impressions, because from track 1 to 7.
First time listening, obviously I didn't know what he was talking about, because it's just sound. You know, at the first listen, you know, like I was drunk as well, but you kind of just sonically listening to it, and like it's on point. It's sort of like soulful, that soulful vibe, but like even just I can't describe Kanye's production method. It just, everything fits so perfectly, like little tiny sounds. Like there's that track, I think was it Yikes or something?
Yikes is the second track.
One of them, he's just got random sounds here and there, and it just always sounds balanced, and just sonically it's so good. Like he just knows where to time random things in, and obviously like it's not a straight hip hop album. It's a lot of like, you know, it's Kanye. It's a Kanye album. You know it's him. You know, it's great. It took me a couple listens as well, so I reckon it's probably better that we didn't podcast then and there, because that thing that I just did then, that was my reaction when I first heard it. I was like tossing in bed like, oh my god, Kanye's back. And this podcast wouldn't be as efficient, because I'd just be like, you know, going off that first listen. But I really started delving into the topics and what he's it brought me back to the last podcast we had, when we were like trying to like, man, I don't know if he's gonna recover from this, like all the shit he's talking about, you know, like every time Kanye does like something stupid, and this doesn't wipe it off. I'm not trying to say this makes up for it, because it is pretty bad, like his comments he made before. But you can't deny this is a fucking amazing album. Like he just, like it kind of does make up for it. But no, it's like, it's so good. I knew it. Like in my mind, remember we were already talking about it when we were doing that interview. I'm already foreseeing the future. There's going to be an episode of the Cheatcoders, me and Raph doing this, and I'm going to be talking about how good his album is. Like I could already feel it. Like he's got something. It's Kanye, you know?
I'm wondering when he actually did this album, because most of the tracks are based on his backlash of what has been saying, whether it be, even he mentioned the recent comments he made in TMZ saying that slavery was a choice. Like that was in track, I think it was Wouldn't Leave, which is track number 4 or 5. But yeah, the second half of the album seems to be a homage, dedicated to the fact that he is saying all this outlandish shit, and then it's affecting how his family is living, and
it's a personal
backlash
album.
It's really personal, and like in terms of
man. It's
like
so
how Kanye
honest.
is.
It's just so honestly true. It's so honestly raw and genuinely true, and just Kanye, no apologies. Like this is just how I think. This is my perspective of things. Yeah. And like I said, it doesn't make up for it, but it makes him human in that sense. Like, yeah, we have these thoughts too. Like sometimes we have the most darkest thoughts, the most outlandish things. He just actually does it. And he kind of like, he said a lot of, I can't remember the lines, but some things Kanye can get away with because he's Kanye. Like he'll say it. If someone else said it, it'd be like, bruh, yeah, kind of thing, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's great. It's a good album. I'm trying to think of standout tracks. I really like those last 2 tracks. But
standout
I'll be honest
track
with
for
you.
me was I'm trying to think of the name, Ghost Town.
Yes,
Ghost Town with Kid Cudi in the chorus.
It's that track got me, and I was like, it's just about the feeling, eh? Like it just feels like a really good record, and it's 7 tracks. It actually inspires me. Like if I go back to my music, just to keep it short. Like it doesn't need to be like a full 15-track LP. Like it's so.
I think all the good music albums that are coming out this month, starting off with Pusha's album, they're all 7 tracks.
That's so cool.
Because they're all gonna be produced by Kanye. So Kanye's like, all right, everyone's gonna get 7 tracks, 7 beats or whatever off me.
I saw the interview when Pusha was talking to Kanye, and then he was questioning her, like, I don't know, man, I feel like I need more, and Kanye's like, no, 7's enough. 7. Kanye.
It's a smart play, as in terms of the streaming era. Everyone's going to keep streaming it because it's really short, so they're going to repeat it over and over and over again. Because these ain't 7 long tracks; they're just normal sized tracks, as in 3 to 4 minutes. So you can get this album's about 20 to 30 minutes long, like the Pusha album. So
this is the way to go, man. It's just so much better. It's so much easier to digest. Like it's definitely less is more. Like quality tracks, each one. It makes me really want to pay attention to each track more. Like, there's a few that I would have just normally skipped kind of thing, but because there's only 7, I'm like, yeah, you play the whole thing and it's cool. Let's play it again and again, and you can really get the gist of what he's saying. It's such a good album, man. So good. So good. So
yeah,
good.
What I noticed is that compared to his last album, The Life of Pablo, in which he was pretty much mastering live, as in like every time he released it, he'd be like, nah, I'm gonna need to change this, and he would release it again into a newer version. In terms of like, he was trying to be like a perfectionist at that time in The Life of Pablo, but then this one seems like it seems very raw and stripped to its core, as in like Kanye is really honest, and he's a bit
like a Kanye. It's like a Kanye 444, like how Jay-Z dropped 444 kind of out of the blue, and it was just really honest Jay-Z. Definitely. I wouldn't say it's the same. I wouldn't say it's the same album, but like, it's like this is his take on just being completely. He opens up a lot of things, even his mental health, all that stuff.
Yeah, that seems a big thing.
Which was a bit obvious. Like, yeah, Kanye's for sure is obviously, you know, not all there, but he's very raw about it. I love that he brought that up as well. I reckon it's a really
I think the whole theme of the album is his bipolar disorder.
He's got
it's on his album artwork.
I read
it says
here it is.
Yeah.
I hate being bipolar. It's awesome.
It's awesome. Which is bipolar in itself.
It's so good. Yeah. And I heard that he took this photo on the way to his album launch. So he's on the bus. He took the photo and he's like, "Oh, I need an album cover." Took the photo, put that on the lyrics, or that whatever that is, caption, and then and then like I love how just like spontaneous and like in the moment it kind of is.
That adds to the point that as in like compared to his last album where he was just going to being pedantic about every single note and every single part of the thing, but this is very spontaneous and he's feeling. He's just let go. It shows another level of his maturation. He's getting more mature in his music in terms of like, I know this is a bit, you know, unpolished. This is raw and stripped back, you know, but this is what I want to put out. I'm not going to try and change it. Here we go.
Exactly. Yeah.
It adds to the, because if you hear the album from start to finish, all the tracks are like disjointed to a point. Like it would change tempo. It would change completely the beat. Like for the first track, he started off with spoken word, and then he goes into a different flow, and then the next one, the beat changes to another flow. So it's very disjointed to a point, which is good in terms of how it shows the bipolarness of the thing, and it also shows vulnerability. I've noticed when I listen to all the tracks in his lyrics and you listen to the beats and everything, it shows a bit of pain, you know. It shows that he's opening up. He seems to be feeling a lot of pain in what he's feeling. He has a lot of thoughts in his mind that shows that he's feeling a lot of pain through what he's been experiencing and his issues and his mental health.
I love that first track. It's so good, man. That really hit me straight away. The moment he just
set the tone of the album.
Yeah, like what's the first line? He's like, "I thought about killing you today." Premeditated murder, something like that.
And that's so raw. When he said that, it was like, oh, this guy's going in the hard. But then the next line, he says, "I thought of killing myself, but I love myself more than I love you," something like that. But it shows that
it goes in, then like ooh, and then in, but then ooh, you know, like that.
Bipolarness. It's bipolar music right now in terms of like it's a juxtaposition. Like you love juxtaposition. Like most of the songs are like based on happy Motown or happy soulful type of music, but the content is very different.
It's
know,
dark. It's very dark. I love that. You know, like it's good you brought down Ghost Town track, and then it's got the girl singing in the chorus at the end. Like, I touched the stove just to see if I could bleed again or something like that. But it sounds so happy. But the lyrics is kind of, you know, somewhat dark, very dark as well. It's very borderline suicidal. A lot of the stuff he's talking about too. But then he's like, "But I love myself on the burst." But then he's like, "I don't want to die though," kind of thing. So cool. I love it, man. I love every bit of it.
The whole album, he's like crying for help.
It's a cry for help.
Experiencing all these things, but at the same time, it's like I'm the shit, man. I'm the.
I want to bring this up. This is perfect that you segued this in, because look, I did my homework, Raf. Like you said, you're like, I got a task for you, Nathan. You gotta listen to this album. I listened. I looked up articles as I do. It'll get into the whole mental health thing, because I know we talk about mental health a lot. It's a reoccurring topic. But he dropped this at the end of Mental Health Awareness Month, which I didn't really know about. I thought this was just an ongoing thing. But anyway, like, he's like one of a few artists that are coming out with, like trying to relieve the stigma of bipolar or mental illness kind of thing. And one of the lines that activists and therapists worldwide are debating over, or people in general, you know that line he says about, where is it? Something about like his bipolarity. It's not a disability, it's my superpower kind of thing. Yeah. Remember that line? Yeah. I think that's on the second track, yeah? Okay, this is my question for you, because like I've been thinking about this, like, because I've spoken about like my own issues prior already. It's no secret that, you know, I've gone through that kind of shit already, or kind of still am a little bit. But when he says that, people are like, it's split, man. Like, people are either like, the fact that you're saying it's your superpower, it's sort of like dangerous. It's very dangerous in a way that it makes it acceptable for, what if someone that is going through, like, it could be like any sort of mental illness, like could be, you know, schizophrenia or like bipolar or depressive disorders, whatever. If you're almost glorifying it, and would that dangerously put people at risk? Like, I don't need help because this is actually a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, some people might take it in that tone, but at the same time, the fact that he's coming out and saying it as well, it's relieving the stigma of it. It's like, no, it doesn't make you less capable of living a normal life or less of a person having it. So it's like a two-edged sword, saying that kind of, like, his take on going on about it, his perspective. Because a lot of people like Carrie Fisher, she's like a mental health advocate. She's always preaching it. But coming from someone like Kanye, very controversial artist, what do you... Have you given this much thought? Because this is all I've been thinking about since this has dropped. I'm like, is this a good thing or a bad thing? That is. Oh,
this has been, in terms of hip hop as a genre, everything's been everything people society perceives as negative has been glorified. Violence, you know, gangster living, you know, like drugs, everything like that, and glorifying. Objectifying women. That's been glorified through hip hop, and then it's always comes to the term of say the N-word, people saying, like, rappers saying the N-word, like glorifying that. In terms of art, we talked about how art is, it depends on what the person or audience perceives it. It's their job to perceive it how they perceive it. Like Kanye, in my perspective, Kanye is saying he's owning his flaws. His flaws, as a person, you should own what makes you, flawed. Yep. In terms of, like, you shouldn't, like, use it as a thing to...
A setback, or as a
setback, yeah. You should use it to something that could push you. Like, that's what he's doing. So, I have got this... So, like, he's saying, I've got this bipolar disorder, but this is my superpower. This is what it's made me become. Capable. Without this, I wouldn't be able to make this music, or without this, I wouldn't be able to do this. It's the whole
package, right? It's the whole package. That's what makes Kanye.
Yeah, hip hop has been glorifying other stuff that society deems negative, and it always comes down to the audience to see how they perceive it. As in, like, should they glorify violence, or should they take it as something, as in, like, this is what this is what is real in the world. We need to let it out there to everyone to see.
Good perspective, man. I didn't think in that way, because I didn't really thinking it side to side. Because I mental illness, guns and drugs, completely different thing. Like, one is like
completely different thing,
almost a choice. Like, you can sell drugs and you're a bad person for it. You can't really do much about, if you're mentally ill, then you like that. And I think that's where the borderline is sometimes. That's why, like, people are stepping in, like people in that realm of therapy, and, like, people, occupational therapists, mental health practitioners. I know it's early days, the album just dropped, but from what I read, they're quite divided on the topic. Like, you shouldn't really be softening it, like it's just what's the word? Like making it seem like it's not an issue because it's actually a real problem. Whereas like with drugs and guns and stuff, that's a no-brainer. Like, nah, you definitely shouldn't be doing that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like that's against the law kind of thing. But it's a sticky gray area. That's all I'm thinking. Like I'm all for it. Like I'm with you there. Like definitely own it kind of thing. That's him. And I think it is actually probably more helpful to relieve that stigma because it's a very misunderstood thing. You'd be surprised how many people suffer from mental illness. A lot of people probably don't even know because it's one of the things that you don't actually know you have it kind of thing until, I don't know, breaking point. Like everyone at some point has something really messed up.
And I think he's going. I think he's leaning to the side of admit it when you do have it, when you realize you do have it, rather than deny it. Because it comes to, like when you listen to it, he's saying it's his superpower, but at the same time he is admitting to the fact that he has that mental illness.
Yeah.
And the first step to changing and making sure that you minimize it is to admit that it's there in the first place. So maybe by owning it, you admit it at the same time. That could help out. Like if you own it to a point, it's like yes, you could go in Facebook status and write, I have this personality disorder, or I have a disorder, a mental illness. If you admit it, then it will provide you a bit more help. Other people can recognize it and be like, give you the avenues of where to go. You can build a community of people who do have mental health, and then they'll help you out. So if you let it out in the open to make sure that you can get as much help as possible, then if you admit it and own it, then that could be a good way to show it. It could go both ways.
It's in Kanye fashion to almost be arrogant about it as well, but it is bipolar disorder, so it's quite, that is what will happen. You'll have lows, super lows, and extreme highs. So it's very typically Kanye to just be like, I got this and I'm the best kind of thing. It's so Kanye.
But if you
I love it, man. I got so much respect for him from this.
If you just hear that line just by itself without hearing the rest of the album, then you wouldn't get that message. But if you hear the rest of the album, it's like he's saying at one point I own it, and then another point he's just like, you feel his pain and he's suffering, through it.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel ya. I feels.
Yeah, man. But track of the album has to be Ghost Town for me.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good to hear Kid Cudi back.
Oh yeah, I didn't actually know Kid Cudi was on that.
His voice is very distinctive.
Really? I'm still a bit hazy, but that was the standout track for me as well. That and the last song, I loved it, man. So good. Good on you, Kanye. Good on ya. Never disappoints.
The good thing about Kanye is that he could take elements of what's going on, like what's relevant now, and just twist it on to make it his own.
Yeah.
Like he has his own sound. Like his own sound is gonna go timeless to wherever album it is that he's gonna make. His sound is gonna transcend the genre. Like the next two albums is gonna sound. Hey, it's gonna have a Kanye sound, but it's gonna have elements that is relevant at that time. Like you have the Chance the Rapper type of vibe with a couple tracks. You got some trap type of vibes in the first few tracks, and you do have those elements of soulfulness, which is what Kanye
still ties in. At the end, it's still
they just
Kanye
tie it
stamp.
in.
Yeah, and it's got that Kanye stamp. Like, that's it. I'm inspired, man. I want to finish my album.
We could just try and just say that Kanye is no longer a rapper, as in like he's pretty much just his own artist. He's beyond his
art. He makes art. He really is. He's an artist, that's for sure. He's very good. Yep.
But I want to give them a few more listens, and then we could just when I could actually roll into it a bit more.
Listen to it, eh? As soon as oh man, so good, such a good album. Just keep talking about it. Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. What about this Drake and Pusha T beef?
This Pusha. All right, cool. Did you want to go through your feelings throughout the whole beef, like how you felt when you first heard the?
I'm not as invested in it.
One line diss.
I'm not as invested as the other guys are. Like I gave him a listen. I'll be honest. I never heard Pusha's verse first. I just when Drake puts something out, I'll probably find it straight away. And I heard that. I didn't even bother looking back at the infrared where he took shots at Drake. But as soon as I heard the Drake's diss, Duppy, I think, is it Duppy?
Yeah, Duppy freestyle. Yeah,
Duppy freestyle. I was like, oh, it's gonna be another Meek thing, like, because I was never really big into Push, to be honest. Like, I've got a few tracks, but I know he's a good rapper, that's for sure. But I never really got into him. But I was like, shit, man, he took the bait. Drake's gonna go in, because I just feel like Drake's at that untouchable phase. He's like the new age Eminem. I know it's such a comparison. Like, come on, it's Eminem. Like, Eminem was destroying people, but in this day and age, I feel like Drake's probably at that pinnacle that you're going for the throne, you go for Drake. He's one of the go for the throne type people, and more often than not, he'll destroy you. Like, he doesn't even try. So when I heard Drake's diss, I didn't even bother going back to Pusha. I'm like, yep, rest in peace, he's dead. The nerve, the audacity. I was like, oh, it's over, kind of thing. But then freaking Pusha T comes out with that track, which I'll admit was very, very personal. It was really good. It matched. I still like Drake's diss. I don't know why. I just reckon it's just better. But he said some really,
in terms of
like some foul
lyrics.
Shit. Yeah.
In terms of lyrics and the flow and everything, like all musical stuff.
Yeah.
Drake.
Oh, he killed it.
Got the better song.
That pattern, that rhyme pattern at the start, killed it.
Yeah.
I was like, man, fuck, he's killing.
But
it.
in terms of impact, of how
content,
you're
Push A. I can see your smile. You're team Push A. I can see it.
Oh, if you know, it's interesting because like Pusha right now is controlling the battle.
Yeah.
Like,
I know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit worried for Drake. I'm a bit worried. Like, I don't know you're gonna come out from that, because like, I read the comments straight away after Drake's, and everyone's obviously biased. If you're reading Drake's video, everyone's like, nah, rest in peace, Pusha. Who's Pusha? A lot of pop people won't know Pusha. Like, mainstream media won't know Pusha as well. Yeah. Like you were saying, was it Today FM or something? And they're like, who's Pusha T or whatever. Some stupid shit.
Everyone's talking about this now to a point that I'm just tuning into an FM station, and they're just like, you got these pop VJs talking about the beef, and it's obviously biased to Drake because he's the more popular one. Yeah, because
he's the popular one, exactly. Yeah, but like,
and they're like,
yeah, go on.
And they'll be talking about, oh, why does he have to bring up the baby, all that stuff, allegations. You know, it's just some bitter up and coming rapper,
bro.
You know,
it's hip hop. Yeah, it's not. It's just been a while, and like, it's hip hop. There's no rules.
Nearly 20 years or something.
Exactly, he's been around, but like, there's no rules for that. Yeah, he said some foul shit, but if you go back in hip hop, like we talk about this in a boys group, the rappers group, obviously offline. Nothing's ever been off the table in hip hop, man. Like, people say some really bad shit. Tupac was talking about shooting.
First off, fuck you, click and
yeah,
fuck it and the click. You
know what I mean? Like, come on, guys.
You claim to be a player, but I fucked your wife.
This generation's gone soft. This is actually a very weak battle, but it's just exciting because it's the hardest thing.
I just realized this is the generational talk, because Pusha is in that era, not in that era, but early 2000s and stuff, where that era was all about
straight up,
drugs and like
talk shit,
drug dealing, gangster shit. While nowadays it's a different era, and that's Drake's era. So it's kind of like two generations coming together.
You reckon?
Drake's doing his shit, and then Pusha is just going into the personal digs. And if you read into the whole added on type of thing, the story about that, well, it's ironic because that's what the song is called, the story of added on, but it's very strategic to a fact that Pusha is such a villain that he just messes up not only the personal stuff of Drake, but his business stuff as well. You know the story?
Yeah. No, wait, explain. What's this? What's
because
the business stuff?
Okay, so this is what I've been reading. So this is all like hearsay, whatever. But I think it's mostly true. Added On is supposed to be the brand that Drake is gonna put on when he has that Adidas deal. So he's gonna have a press run of introducing Added On, because at that time when Added On is gonna be released, he's gonna say the reason why it's called Added On is because I have a son, Adonis. And then he's going to reveal his son to the world in the nice fashion through press runs, press conferences, and then help that promote that his new shoe and his new brand in Adidas, their joint label, so their joint project, which is added on. And then Pusha just comes in and says, "No, man, I'm gonna say it first before you do." And
that's terrible. Why? I didn't know that.
He somehow got some intel. So obviously he knew what was going on in terms of his
marketing strategy,
the Adidas deal. And now every time they hear added on, it's going to be related to this beef. So
he's smart. Yeah, that's pretty strategic.
It gives a negative stigma.
I didn't know that though. So I don't know how many other people would know about this. Like generally, like unless you're really like deep in the beef, like analyzing. Obviously,
I don't think Pusha needs. Well. I don't think Pusha was intending people to know. He just wanted Drake's business to stuff up a bit. You know. Yeah. It's like, all right, you're gonna mention my wife, so I'm gonna mess up your business. You know.
Yeah. Pusha's ruthless. Even how he went about the on the interview. I think it was at Breakfast Club or Hot 97. One of the main ones, and he did mention. Drake obviously questioning my street credibility, and that's fair. Like he's very mature about how he goes about it as well. Like no, that's fair. This is some rapper shit. This ain't street shit. He's questioning my street credibility, so I'm questioning things about him. But he obviously went in quite very personal when he questioned Drake about things. Like,
and now Drake, how is Drake gonna respond? Is he gonna go personal as well? He can't go back to the whole "I'm gonna buy you to death" because this is taken to it. It's another. Pusha has taken it to another level, to a different direction.
He's taken it a different
direction where Drake has to actually change his persona to actually go toe to toe with, because you can't go toe to toe being the nice guy Drake.
I don't think he can just go to the same style, because Meek was an easy win, man. He plowed him, man. Overkill, like diss track.
As you said before, like
second one.
Drake is untouchable in terms of if you want to buy him and his fan base and go against his commercial appeal. You won't be able to. You can't. He's pretty much untouchable in that point. But
Pusha found a loophole.
Yeah, he found a loophole. He's gonna mess with his business. He's gonna go super personal.
He doesn't care. I love that line he said. Sorry, keep going. You're on a roll.
Yeah, he's gonna mess with his image. Like now he's a deadbeat dad now. Like if to break him down, to break Drake down, as I said to the group chat, only Drake could ruin Drake. So you have to get in his brain to
what he does to it. Yeah, either he leaves it as is, because this could be like the defeat of the century ever since Jay-Z and Nas, because Jay-Z went in on Nas and Mobb Deep, and he got ethered. Literally, it became like a hip-hop term. He got ethered,
Yeah.
He still recovered eventually, but like that was a big hit, to take.
Yeah, in his hip-hop credibility, Jay-Z ended up being, the more successful one, but at the same time, he's always going to have that L. Yeah, like lingering. But
in his brain. He never denied. He doesn't take it as an L, like how he goes on about it. Because after Jay-Z and Nas, I don't think Jay responded after Ether, but he always held his opinion that he won it. Because there was even an interview when they became friends again. It's like, so who won the beef? And Nas like, I think I won. And then Jay-Z's like, no, I think I won. But everyone's like, no, Jay-Z.
Well, as if he's gonna.
You didn't win, Jay-Z. You lost. Yeah, but like it's the hip hop pride. It's like, nah. I think Takeover was the... But it's questionable, because I actually do think Takeover was the better diss track now that I listen to both again. I really like Takeover. Like, Jay was doing some good shit, man. Like, he wasn't just like, F you and yada yada.
Yeah.
Nas was
it's a battle, you have to leave that lasting impression. It always seems to be the lasting impression that you have to leave. Yeah, but
only time will tell. Only time will tell with this Pusha and Drake. I love that line Pusha says is like, "How dare you put Kanye in my verses? I want all of the curses." And I was like, "Oh damn, this guy's he's like the Joker, bro. He's like he just wants it. It's like, no, I want give me all the lands. Why are you involved in these people?
And the line is what he's saying is like I forgot it. He says like, I want to go to a funeral with 3 hearses. If we all go to hell, it'll be worth it.
I'm like, damn, he going in. Like, you know me. I usually like the villains, but I think because I'm such a Drake fanboy, like I'm still Drake. But that's what I said. After that, I wasn't even gonna listen to Pusha's reply. I didn't bother listening to Infrared. But then when the hype came out, and then you talked about it, I was like, oh shit, is Drake and Tubble? Oh no. I was like, oh shit. No, not Drake. Don't diss Drake.
Drake's gonna be fine. After this
This is a good battle. It is such a good beef, man. Like it's it's exciting. It's making hip hop exciting again. So
yeah, as in, so like I think the last time people talked about hip hop in terms of battling and beef, the last time I could remember is probably Kendrick Lamar's Control verse, where
but no one went at him that was worth it, kind of thing. Yeah, like so many people made a record. How many people actually made a response to Kendrick? And it just made him more powerful. And
it wasn't like none of the people he mentioned made a response, but everyone else.
But everyone else did. Yeah,
everyone was offended. They didn't get a response.
That,
everyone was offended that they didn't get their name on that list because
it's so funny. Yeah, Kendrick controlled that, but that was so one-sided. It was basically Kendrick against the world, and Kendrick won. But this one, this is actually a really oh man, what they gonna do? Fucking Pusha, bro.
Yeah, man.
Out of nowhere, I was like, damn, son.
Like with the whole Meek thing, you heard Meek's diss to Drake, and you're like, oh,
that was a joke.
Okay.
The Meek one, that was like the Mayweather versus Thingo fight, the MMA guys fight. That was it. It was just for show. It was like it was a friggin' sacrificial lamb. Just here you go. Slaughtered. It's like, what did we pay to see this for? It was free, but why did we give so much attention?
Like, Pusha's no one to fuck with. It's like everyone knows that now.
Yeah, especially now, because like I said, I didn't really listen to him before. I knew he was like the bad boy of good music. Like, he's the one that says he's like, he does the drug dealing and he does all that shit, street shit. So like, I never really knew why he's in that roster. To be honest, he doesn't seem like he fits in it, but I could be wrong. Like I said, I haven't listened to him enough. But I just always thought he was a bit of an oddball. Like, even when they did that good music, what's that song? And it's all black and white, and they're all Kanye's in it. Is it that Lamborghini Mercy?
No,
or maybe even Click?
Mercy.
Well, one of them. Pusha always looks like he's always the one that goes in. He's always got the first verse. I think Kanye's like, all right, Pusha, you go win. Then we go and do our soulful shit after, kind of thing.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
anyway,
shift just popped out. But yeah. What do you think Drake's gonna do for the next? You reckon he's gonna respond?
Drake's very tactical. That if he knows he's not gonna make a response, he might just do the Jay-Z thing and just say, because right now it's still pretty even. You know, it's not like Drake's at a point that he has to make a response. I think he could leave it and just be like, in a couple years it settles down. It's like, I won that. I don't think it validated a response. He's just gonna deny it or whatever. I don't know, not really deny it. Like, I don't know, because
it's hard
it's
stuff.
It's still pretty even. I think it's a pretty even playing field. Like Drake's still got a lot of pull in this, just the fact that he's Drake. But yeah, like you said, it is in his court. What he does now is gonna do it for him. Only Drake will destroy Drake right now, because Pusha's done this really big dent on him. If Drake responds and it's shit, that's it. And then Pusha's gonna go in harder, and then that's it. That just destroys Drake. Or he comes up with something really good, and I don't know what that is. I just do not know what he's gonna do. No
exactly.
idea.
Like,
he can't do the same tactic. He can't just do another back to back and whatever he did with Meek, where he just overkilled him. Like, Meek didn't even respond, and then Drake did another track. It's like, oh man, really? You're burying the guy, dude. This one, like, he's got to think. He's got to think about it. Anyway, what do you think?
We'll see. Like, I got a feeling that he might not respond.
That's what I'm thinking as well. I got a feeling he's like he's smart enough to not respond. Like, he's been put in a position that I think a Drake L is like not getting the win. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
For him to win for him to take a loss is not getting more, because Drake's just used to getting more. So he might not be able to get like top it off on this one like he did with Meek Mill.
But then again, like, Pusha has been so personal in his diss that it kind of ruins his credibility if he doesn't respond. It's like, he spoke about your mom, he spoke about your dad, he spoke about your child, your baby mama, he spoke about your friend with like a disorder. What are you going to talk about? Like, if you're not going to respond, you're not going to defend all these people that he spoke about.
And he doesn't. It's a tough one, man. I don't know. And like, there's not enough to know about Pusha. Like, where's he going to get this info from?
Yeah, Pusha has nothing to lose, man.
He's such a blank canvas. Like, is there enough attention on Pusha to find out stuff about him, kind of thing. You know, Drake would be like, he'll have paparazzi all over him. Like, Intel will be around. You know, he's Drake. He's got microscopes on him, kind of thing. Pusha, though, this question is like, I guess like he could go the angle like, you know, when Rick Ross got exposed because he was a cop. Yeah, you know, 50, like he just destroys people. Like 50's petty, man.
Drake's looking for some dirt.
Petty. Drake has to
Drake's
go pretty petty,
but
that's. Would you say Drake is
out of
petty?
character? Yeah.
It's not really.
He's petty. I'm pretty sure he's petty, but
he's a different
he's
kind
got
of
his
petty.
own way.
He's a suave petty, like suave when he's petty kind of thing. It's like, I'm just better, like, you know, it bigs him up. But he's not like petty as in disrespectful. Like 50 Cent is petty. That's petty. 50 won't even make a diss track anymore. He'll just find something he'll make a meme about you or something. You know what I mean? That's all he does now. He just makes memes. He'll make a caption, some shit, you know? I don't know.
Drake has to be out of character to actually respond properly.
Yeah, you're
Not
right.
Properly,
you're right. He has to change his, like,
image.
The way he goes about it. Like, Pusha, like, yeah, you've given me a lot to think about, Raf. A lot to think about. I don't know. I'm gonna probably have another nap and think about this for the next couple hours. Then I'll go back to Kanye.
In terms of like battling, what constitute as a good diss? Like people have their different perspectives on what's a good diss on diss tracks and like how far you can go. Like a couple of our mates are saying, you know, a couple of our mates are saying, oh, Drake's got this in the bag. He's like. Pusha shouldn't be saying all this shit. He should just keep it straight rap bar to bar type of thing. But some are saying like go personals, man. Personals are that's what hip hop battling is, you know, leaning towards. It's like it's always been about personals. And if you have any good like lyrics, like if the lyrics are dope, then that's a bonus, you know. Yeah. But what does it for you? Does it like more technical stuff, or do you want to go more punchline based, or is the personals more?
Look, we're gonna get into this. If we're gonna get into the realm of battling, let me tell you this. This is what I think. Okay, I'm not gonna say what makes a good diss track. There's two different types of battles. You'd have to agree. Like obviously there's live battling, and that's just gonna be bar for bar. But there's always gonna be two different types of battles. You know, there's street. They mentioned this in the interview. You know, like is this some rap shit or some street shit? Like that's what they questioned Pusha. You know, what is this? Is this like if you see each other, is there a problem? Like if they're in the same room, or like not acquaintances, associates of the two, is there gonna be like a fight breaking out if they meet? Because you know, G Unit days and Tupac days, that's what beef was. Like it was real shit. Like you say something, you come to our hometown, we're gonna shoot you or something. That's when rap was like real rap, and like you and me, we wouldn't be rapping. Eminem opened that gate that now suddenly you have all these like internet geeks, hipster phase, you know. Hip hop's kind of, it has softened when you say it. People like, you wouldn't see someone like Drake rapping in the 90s. He'd get killed immediately. Literally. He wouldn't be Pac and Biggie. They'd kill Drake. He's like, who's this Drake guy? He's not even worth a bullet. Let's just bash him kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like that was like, okay, well, look, I'm delving off into it. But for me, what makes a good beef, there has to be a history. Like I love technical beefs. Like, you know, when we watch the battles, whenever you see like a hipster rapper that's very clever, very witty, as long as he sounds good, he's got clever lines, very funny. This is why it works with like Kid Twist, 360. You know, all those, Jin DMC when he came out, he's not hard. They're not really hardcore dudes. And you put them against like a drug dealer type rapper that raps about, I sell coke and I shoot people, and whether or not it's true or not, you know the quirky guy is gonna win. Because in a just that standpoint, it's entertaining, right? It's like this guy like rapping about the same thing, about trying to be hard and show how hardcore he is, and then like this funny dorky rapper, or like just really out of character type thing that shouldn't be in rap, will always win. Because like it's like how Eminem came out. Like no one expected him, this white dude in a realm of street dudes, to come out and saying all this really outlandish shit. So if you look in that perspective, I love the technical, quirky, that shit. But you can't take away the most epic battles have always been really personal. Like it started from something way more. Like the Pac and Biggie, that boiled up and they got killed for it, man. They died, like, because of this shit. Like, whoa, from rap kind of thing. And like all the maddest diss records, there's a history to them. Like Ja Rule in 50, that didn't just happen. That wasn't like a battle that was set up and let's go bar for bar, who's got the best lyrics. They're saying some personal shit because they got history. Like 50's like, I robbed you and I stole your chain and my dudes bashed you or something. And I don't know what Ja said. It was just pointless. As soon as Eminem got involved, it's like, nah. And then like the rise and the fall of some of these stars, it just makes it so much more dramatic. Like Ja was on top, right? 50 comes in, takes the crown. That's forever in history. Ja's forever now the dude that got done, kind of thing. That makes like a battle way more epic, I think. And like it goes down the list. Like even the Royce and Eminem beef, that's not as popular, but I love that the fact that they had history. They were like family kind of thing. How Royce got shunned. That's why when that Meek and Drake one came out, that was just some stupid shit kind of thing as well. Whereas this, like, this is as interesting as it gets these days when it comes to personal. Like, even the Drake and Pusha, you can't say, like, yeah, maybe they've known each other for a while, but even Drake's talking about things like, I helped Schoolboy Q, something. Like, I don't know the history there as well, but it somewhat makes it more interesting. Like, it makes you go back in time. Like, where are these guys getting their references from? It's not just some straight rap shit. So, yeah, long answer short. Like, if there's a history to it, it's not just a battle for... or a rap thing for the sake of it. Yeah, it's hell interesting. It gets the most publicity and there's emotion behind it kind of thing. And people's careers at stake. For a rapper, your career is your life. Sometimes you can't recover from it, man. People thought Jay-Z wasn't going to recover and he did. Once again, another historical moment. Some two dudes from Brooklyn got it in together, man. Like, dude, that's hip-hop history. Anyway,
yeah,
sorry. I'm doing a lot of talking. Sorry.
Now this battle is going down in the books, like
history. Yeah,
Drake's definitely having.
There. It's getting there. You know why? Because he's such a high-profile dude. It's like he's a high pro. He's a different tier. He's like God. Maybe not God level. I'd put him in King level. Because you know how you and me, we always like let's name where people levels are. So like you have your gods, which is Tupac and Biggie, because they're dead. But then we have kings. Like Eminem's a king. Lil Wayne, like I'm not a fan of Wayne, but you have to put him there. Kanye is king. Jay-Z, Nas, he's like a king, but he's like a street king. So he's maybe like he's still a knight, you know. He's still in the streets, but he's a king. He's Nas, you know. Then you got like you got low level guys, like the guys like Pusha T. I'd put him in the same realm as like the rest of G Unit and stuff, you know. Yeah. Like he's one of Kanye's boys. He's there. So you got like a Pusha T level guy, like a soldier against. Going at the crown, which is Drake. He's a king guy. It's like that was so nerdy. Yeah, that's like we do this shit. It's like some that's some hip hop geek shit.
But I reckon this is going down in the books. Like Drake's definitely having a biopic when he's like in 20 years time, and then it's one of those times where you can look back and be like, we'll see. Yeah, we were there. We experienced that live. And like we're too young to experience the whole Biggie and Tupac thing. I think I was like at least 10.
Well, we were there for the 50 Cent and Eminem Ja Rule one. That was cool.
Yeah, we were there, but this one's more fresh in our minds, and
this is fresh.
I think this is going to be one of those things. It's a moment like this and the Kendrick's Control verse and the This Is America. These are just those moments in hip hop where it's still just gonna be timeless,
Hip hop's still alive. Hip hop's very much so still alive.
Yeah,
I like that.
Nas said hip hop is dead, but it's been living since then, it's been growing and evolving.
Exactly.
So
put my glasses. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, like what was I thinking? I have nothing else to say. Like in terms of me personally, I always love the personal, the digs. Personal stuff, even in normal battles like freestyle battles at school or at like battle competitions, if you throw in personals, it adds a bit more punch to your lines. You know
why it goes jab. It's like the Romans, not really, this is like a bad analogy, but people are there to see blood. They don't want something like they'll just brush off. People actually want to see someone get ruined, as sad as it is. Like and they want to see you cry, man. They want to see you cry.
Technique, rap, and like being lyrical and having technique is not going to be as effective if you are just going to jab him with a simple line that's really personal, you know? Like, it's like when you go to a rap battle and you can hear a technical guy and then you hear the joking guy. The joking guy is going to get more of an edge because it's more easily digestible, it's fresh, and
it's funny at the time, and it's just a moment thing, momentary.
Yeah, people can look back and like probably in 10 years' time, it's like, oh, Drake probably had a more technical verse and very with the lyrics, and it had is very subliminal in a sense, and sounds had good, double entendres and all that stuff. But Pusha T's one, even though it had less of that, it just punched people in the face, you know, like it made people talk.
You have a good point. That's a very, very valid point. It's exciting.
Well, yeah, it is exciting. I just can't wait to where, you know, I want to hear the next chapter in this beef, because this has been going on for a while, man. Like, as in, like, Pusha's been baiting Drake for a long time. Like, I think, and then Drake threw a couple of lines at I think it was 2 birds, 1 stone, whatever, and yeah, it wasn't as effective, but I don't know, for some reason
they've
Pusha's
gone in
line in Daytona in Infrared took Drake over the edge.
Drake took the bait. Yeah, he took the bait.
He took the bait, and then
he's probably thinking like,
Pusha's like,
worth it? Pusha's been waiting. He's been waiting.
It's Pusha's like battle ready. Take a bait, and he's got
Pusha has been battle ready. He's just like, I want him to take the bait, and Drake, he kind of slipped up. Maybe he shouldn't have took it, you know. But it was a great diss track. When Drake went in, it's like, oh shit, Drake gave him the attention. Like,
strategic, man. And then the fact that he was talking about like added on the Adidas brand that he was supposed to have, it shows how strategic he was, and it shows how recent, because like I think that, you know, you can assume that Drake and Adidas has been doing this thing together, this project, for about probably a year max. So
it's true.
Pusha has been getting this intel somehow, and he's got it ready. He was ready before he dropped Infrared. I reckon he had this record ready, and then he just wanted to make a few touches after he heard Drake's diss.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
You know, it's very strategic, man. He was ready for this battle. And
you giving
Drake,
me lots to think about.
Yeah, I think Drake, he could be either super ready, like he's a step ahead of Pusha.
Yeah. You never know with Drake, because Drake, you got to remember, Drake's very tactical as well.
But then again, how did he know he was going to take that direction? So he probably like Pusha probably voided all of Drake's plans. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna go bar to bar for this guy. Yeah, I'll take the bait. I'll bar him down, and then he's gonna bar me back. But instead, new direction. What are you gonna do? what are you gonna do, man?
Fuck. Yeah, that's true. Very interesting. I'm out of words. I'm just like, wow, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It is a crazy time, man. I love being a hip hop fan for these moments.
I'm back at hip hop because of this. I'm back. I like it.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna like listen to less R&B and get into this hip hop thing.
I'm gonna stop listening to any house and EDM. It's messing with my head. Back to hip hop. No more.
But is there any other topics you want to go through?
Not really, unless you have something you want to talk about more.
No, these were the main topics that happened this week
what we
that I
wanted
to speak about.
We haven't really introduced the show, eh? Sorry, this was an episode of the Cheatcoders.
This is episode 38.
38. Thanks for listening. If you have, I just realized before we got to we just did our intro and then we didn't really. Anyway, yeah, find us on Instagram. All streaming platforms. No, that's a lie. Only on Apple Podcasts. Do we still use Mixcloud?
Android
Stitcher,
podcast. Stitcher. Mixcloud is just mainly for old stuff.
Yeah, you find it. But you know, add us if you see us.
Give us a review as well, because like you know, we haven't got a review in a while, and we need to bump it up.
We need a review. I mean, like, our podcast is the name of the network, and it gets the least plays. I think it's just because it's just us two talking shit, so it's like, it's not that interesting. But hey, shouts to the people that do listen, do appreciate it. Gonna keep it going. Yeah, good times, very good times. Do you have anything else to talk about?
I'm pretty much fried after that whole conversation. I'm out.
I got everything I need to say out, so that's good.
Yeah, this is a very hip hop centric episode compared to our last episode where we talked about pretty much everything else.
Like, yeah, everything.
Very conspiracy theory based.
The meaning of life and shit. Yeah, they got real deep. Let's change it up. If you have a topic, let's send it to us. We'll talk about it next episode.
Especially like
thanks for covering last week. Shout outs
to
Don. Shout outs to Don.
Oh yeah,
for the last episode. Thanks for filling in.
And I would like to say that his podcast is launching in a couple of days, and it's a great podcast. I've listened to a few episodes. Nats is going to be in one of them.
I'm on it.
And he's gonna, it's great to discover art in a different perspective in terms of traveling, experiencing different cultures. So
big it up.
Shout out to Don, man, and
maybe that's what we can use our platform for. Promote our other channels.
Definitely. Like,
yeah.
I want to like be able to promote other stuff as well, like people who are doing their stuff. And I've heard a lot of podcasts out there that's coming out of the works, and it's great to hear, man. Mm-hmm. Like everything's happening, man.
If you have an idea, you want to start. If you have an idea and want to start a show, contact this person over here. He's the manager. Just send him an email. We have an application process. Then we go for a Skype interview. If you're good enough,
auditions,
you can start a show. Start a pilot.
Move on to the next.
Move on. Move on from there. Anyway.
Well, yeah. This has been an episode of the Cheatcoders. You can find us at Mixcloud, Apple Podcasts, everything else that you can find your podcasts. You can search us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. The Cheatcoders. We are all there, and we are part of the Cheatcoders Network. So I'd like to thank Nats for his thoughts on Kanye and Pusha T Drake beef.
Yes.
And I would like to thank myself for being who I am.
All right, Kanye.
And everyone else,
the glasses?
Have a nice day.
All right, peace. Bye.
Peace.